So when you hold your stator and when you rotate this, automatically the rotor rotates, which is rotating in nature. You can see the rotor is rotating in nature, that's why it is called rotor, and this is fixed. Okay, so this is called stator. Okay, and coming to the different components, so here this is called a carbon brush assembly, and these are the different diodes: diode 1, diode 2, diode 3, and this is called as voltage regulator. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to see the different parts that are used in an alternator, and let us try to see its working principle, how these parts are helping. Here you can see here, so there are two parts in an alternator. So the center part, which is nothing but rotor part, which is used as an field winding, and you can see the outer part, this is the outer part of the alternator. So this is the stator part, and the stator part is have armature winding. So what is meant by armature means the people get confused. So this is nothing but armature. So this is nothing but the armature winding what we have in our alternator. Okay, so this is about, you can see here, very simple to understand. If you take the rotor like this, so which rotates. Okay, so you see here, so when you hold your stator and when you rotate this, automatically the rotor rotates, which is rotating in nature. You can see the rotor is rotating in nature, that's why it is called rotor, and this is fixed. Okay, so this is called stator. Okay, and coming to the different components, so here this is called a carbon brush assembly, and these are the different diodes: diode 1, diode 2, diode 3, and this is called as voltage regulator. And here you are going to collect the output. This is positive terminal, we have to connect to the battery, and this I is nothing but connect to the negative terminal, and again we have the two terminals. This positive is connected to the positive of this battery, and this negative is connected to the ignition system. That's how this alternator is double excited. Okay, so here you can let us try to see it, how it works. Okay, so now already I told, so this is fixed like this. Okay, so to the machine, and you can see the structure, this is nothing but pulley. Okay, so our IC engine will be rotating, and this will be connected to our pulley, and automatically this will be rotating, and which is this, since it is rotating, this is called rotor, and these are nothing but the cooling fans which cools the rotor. And coming to here, so the center part what I have been shown, the center part is called as rotor, and this is a salient pole rotor. So coming to this salient pole rotor, so these rotors are generally used for charging our vehicles. Okay, so salient pole rotor will have higher diameter. Let us try to check the diameter. Approximately this is 4 inches or 10 centimeters. So salient pole rotors has higher diameter. And coming to the length of these rotors, okay, so you can see the length of this rotor are just only 5 centimeters or 2 inch. So length is less and diameter is higher. I can conclude this is an salient pole rotor. So this is how the salient pole rotor will be rotating, and this is the pulley to what we are connecting. And coming to the stator, okay, you can see here which is stationary. So this complete structure is stationary in nature. Okay, so this structure is stationary in nature, and this winding is called armature winding. So this is made up of a group of coils and group of conductors. Okay, so here the output of this alternator is an AC supply. So you have two coils which is common at one point. So you have positive, phase as well as neutral. This will act as an common point. This is phase as well as neutral, and all this common, the output of this alternator is an AC supply, but we need to connect this. Okay, so you see the connection diagram, so we need to connect it like this. Okay, so by properly connecting it, automatically, so you have to insert this into the box like this, then automatically it starts connected. Okay, so here you have the assembly. So you can see here this is called carbon brush. So this is a carbon brush 1, and this is a carbon brush 2. So these carbon brushes at the output is connected to here. Okay, so these are the connectors for the carbon brush. Through this carbon brush, through a pin, we have to give the DC supply to our rotor. So now the concept, what happens here is when you give an DC supply, so the supply will be available in these brushes. Okay, so through these brushes DC supply is available, and this DC supply will be in contact with this contact with this slip ring. Okay, so as soon as this is contact with our rotor, so this is called as slip ring. So whenever it is contact, automatically this will, the DC supply is given to this winding, automatically this will act as an field winding, and this will produce an magnetic field. So now magnetic field is produced. Okay, so see here, internally there is an this is an electromagnet, and magnetic field is produced, and it is in the form of rotating in nature. Then as per Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, whenever the magnetic field is there and whenever it is rotating in nature, automatically an EMF is produced in the alternator. The produced EMF in the alternator is an AC supply, but we need to use this alternator to charge our battery. So here we are going to convert this AC supply into DC supply with the help of this bridge rectifier, and output may be pulsating in nature. So how to understand this pulsating in nature is fire. So the output may be like this. This is a type of input generated by this alternator terminal, and automatically the output is like this. Okay, so the output is a full wave bridge rectifier, but it has more amount of ripples. So this ripples has to be made smoother. Okay, so these are the types of ripples which are produced, and this is an unwanted AC signal available in an DC output. For the given DC output, these are the ripples which are available. These ripples I have to filter out, and I have to make it as an constant voltage, where this voltage is called DC output, and this DC output is taken care by the help of a regulator which is called voltage regulator, and this is our voltage regulator. This voltage regulator will maintain the constant voltage, and the constant voltage you can collect at this positive terminal, and the negative terminal is this I. So this is common to the complete structure. Okay, so this is all about, and you can see here, so in order to cool this voltage regulator, and aluminum fins are provided. So here you can see inside there is an aluminum fins. So these aluminum fins will try to cool our voltage regulator, and this is like an excitation to our rotor. Why? Because rotor we have to give the DC supply, as well as it will be rotating in nature. So that's why whenever we give the DC supply and rotating in the nature, so you can see here this carbon brushes has a spring tension. So all the time they will be in contact with our rotor. So this is one spring, and the bottom one is the another spring. These springs will be in contact with our rotor, and this complete rotor part will be rotating in nature. So this is how it will be in rotating. Okay, so whenever the vehicle is running, so this complete structure will be rotating in nature. So complete structure is rotating in nature, and DC supply is available, automatically EMF will be produced in this armature winding, and how this AC supply is converted into DC supply with the help of a rectifier. This is a small review regarding the alternator, and coming to the rating of this alternator. So this alternator is designed to generate output voltage. I will show the nameplate details also. So this will generate an output voltage of 12 volts and a current of 40 amperes. Multiply the voltage and current, automatically this is an 480 watts alternator. Okay, so this complete structure, if you assemble, it is going to generate a 480 watts total power output. This is all about our alternator, which is nothing but an AC generator. Thank you for watching. So we will upload more useful videos like this for you, to make you very nearer to the practical experimentation and practical parts, where you can understand the theory best. Thank you for watching.